Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be showing you how I make my collard greens without any meat at all. Just probably over the past year or so, I've been trying to eat a lot healthier. And so one of the latest thing that I've been doing is cutting out pork and beef completely out of my diet. So just stay tuned and I'll show you how I make my collard greens. So as you can see, I'm going through the greens and I'm pulling out all the stems and I'm taking out all of the dead leaves. Now I'm using a knife to cut mine out, but you can, and I know that some people will pull them out. That's how my mom used to cook them. She would just pull the stem out, but it's totally up to you. Next, I'm going to take a handful of greens and put them on the cutting board and then roll them up and then I'll slice them. And you can slice them as thick as you would like. It's totally up to you. So now I'm adding a little bit of vinegar to the bowl and I'm going to add some water in there and then I'll put the greens in there and I'll let them soak for a little bit and then I'll wash them. And I typically wash my greens about 3 times. I don't continue to put the vinegar in there, but I do put it in there the first time and then the other 2 times are with just water. Okay, so the next step is I'm going to get the tomatoes. So some of the other adds that I put into the greens when I'm cooking them are tomatoes, onions, and garlic, and they give it such a great flavor. So right now I'm just going to slice those up, and you can slice them up as small or as large as you would like. It's totally up to you. So I'm using a cast iron wok-like skillet to cook the greens in. And as you can see, I poured a little bit of olive oil in the bottom and now I'm adding in the onions. And I'm trying not to put the garlic in there so much because garlic burns like really quickly and easy. So I'm just adding in the onions and the tomatoes and I'll saute those for maybe a few minutes and because I don't want them to get too soggy, so I'll saute those for a little bit. So now I've already washed the greens about 3 times and obviously they're already cut up, sliced up. So now I'm going to put the greens in there. Now if you notice, I didn't add any water in there just yet. I will be adding a tiny bit of chicken broth to the mixture, like a tiny bit, because greens kind of make a little bit of water themselves. So the seasonings that I add, you see that I poured a little bit of hot sauce on top and then covered it, and I didn't mix that in yet. And I'm going to cover it so the greens can cook down so I can add some more to the pot. So I typically cook my greens for about an hour because I like for them to be a little tiny bit crunchy. Well, not crunchy, but I don't like for them to be overcooked. So I check on them. I put a little tiny bit of water in there, and then I just check on them like frequently, or not frequently, but maybe just make sure that they don't burn. Some other seasonings that I add to the pot are soy sauce, liquid smoke, salt and pepper, hot sauce, and red crushed pepper flakes. So here I'm just going to bake some baked sweet potatoes, and I just bake those in the oven until they're done. I don't add any cinnamon or sugar or anything like that. I just eat them plain like my grandmother used to make them. And I pour a little bit of olive oil on there as well. So now I'm going to make some hot water bread to go with those greens. And I'm just adding in cornmeal, and then I add in hot water, like boiling hot water, and then mix it around. And then I'm going to make those into patties. Some people call them hot water cornbread. Some people call them hush puppies, but they're basically just hot water bread because that's what my grandmother used to call it. And I mix that around, put it in a little patty, and drop it in the skillet. I don't think there's really a time limit on how long these will cook. You just cook them until they're done, flip them over, let the other side brown, and then take them out. And there you have it. That's my dinner, and thanks so much for watching. And please leave any comments or questions down below, and have a great day. And make sure you subscribe.